All right, hello everybody, welcome in. We have Steve Rogers running for Ward 4, I believe, right? Council
Yes,
seat in
correct.
Charlestown.
Yes.
Is this your first time getting into politics?
No, I ran in 2017 against Michael George, and he beat me in 2017. So that was my first race, and I kind of, when I was running against him, I realized that I had a lot of the same views, and I wondered sometimes why we were running against each other. Yeah, that was my first time.
Is it something you've kind of become passionate about, being involved with local politics?
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up here my entire life. I'm 37 years here. I went to all the Page Jackson, Wright, Denny, Charlestown Junior High, went to Jefferson, graduated from Shepherd. So, I mean, it's my community that I grew up in, and I've always wanted to give back. And I have flexibility a lot now with working from home with my job.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always wanted to get involved and give back. And I don't know why council. I think it's because I believe that local politics affect us the most out of all politics. So everybody should really be voting in the municipality elections. So that's kind of why I have passion about running, and I want to see change, positive change, smart growth with our community.
Well, that kind of leads me to a question that I had, which was, what would you, if there are things that you think need to be fixed throughout Charlestown, what are those things? What would you change if you are elected?
I mean, one of my main, they've been working on the charter, I think, for 6 years. And I think it's crazy that we've been taking so long. I believe that we should have, if it was going to take that long to do it as a whole, then we should have did the parts and pieces of, I believe, the sidewalks should have been, changed, put on the ballot, and the city, with our tax money. And then I know we're getting 1.2 or 1.6 million from the relief fund, American Relief.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it's called, from the government. And I think we should, it's not going to happen overnight, but prioritize yearly. Like, this is what, just the same as we do with paving, take care of the sidewalks. And because right now it's the homeowner's responsibility, but a lot of them, I believe, fall the plats. I've knocked a lot of, my head's red today from knocking 400 doors, and I took off work today to knock, and I was out there since 10 o'clock to about 7 o'clock. I stopped today, but there's that issue that the plats, I think a lot of it falls, especially on Washington Street, I believe, falls, and they have to maintain and cut the grass up to the road. I mean, it's crazy what some of them have to do as residents. So I think that's a change. Stormwater issues are really bad on, I believe, Liberty Street is really bad. I talked to some residents today. I was down through there knocking doors. So there's that issue. I think we need to, I like what they're, I like what they're doing with the skate park, but I think they can do more. I think a lot of times it seems like to me, we do studies after studies, but then I don't want to say no action, but the action is slow. So I want to try to push that out. I mean, I have a lot of ideas for the skate park. For example, they're going to put that big grass area in the wintertime, bring a skating rink because they're portable. You do the ice skating, which we've never had in Charlestown. If you've ever been to Vegas, there's Container Park. I mean, the city could get, old sea containers, and they cut the front out. They put sliding glass doors. Sometimes they build porches on them. And I don't know legally, and I have to look into it, can they own that and then rent them to port vendors? So I think that park's so big, man, you could even have zip lines. I think more activity for people locally to do that's my vision of Charlestown. I mean, they have a good vision with the 2040 comprehensive plan, but we have to, I know everybody's going to say COVID, but we haven't had that much speed even before COVID of getting, and I don't have any personal, things against any council, because mostly people run the council to help their town. So, yeah. But I mean, everybody has different ideas and different platforms that we're running on.
Are there things, I'm glad that you said that too, because are there things that you could point out that you think are very positive that the current administration has done over the last few years, like from the mayor on down? Are there good things?
I mean, there's good things they had to adapt to COVID. I think they did good at the main thing when I ran in 2017 was, Ranson was, they didn't depend on, by that time, I think in 2017, they didn't depend on revenue from the casino to operate. They had weaned themselves off. So that's a big positive that they say that they've weaned themselves off. I haven't looked at, have they 100%, but I think they're doing a good job. So that's two things that I can point out that they've done really good. I think they struggled on the charter, but the charter is a big document to go
Yeah.
through. So, it's not something that you can just say, oh, one day it's changed. So,
this is a question I think I'm going to ask all candidates across the board. You mentioned the casino money and things like that. To you, I've always wondered this about everybody in Charlestown. What does the casino mean? What do you think its service is? Is it a positive? Is it a negative? How do you view the casino in Charlestown?
That's a good question. Now, most people, I don't know how they'll answer it if they haven't lived here their whole life. But since I've been here in the 80s, I think if the casino never came, a lot of current residents that's been here for 30, 40 years would say Charlestown will be a ghost town. It brings, not maybe a lot of people come to the downtown, but that's a lot of revenue generating. So, when it first started to come in whatever year it came, it got shot down. It was put on the ballot and it never passed. And I worked for the casino not the casino at that time. That's whenever they tried to do table games. So I worked there when it was table games, before table games. And then we went around as employees. They paid us extra money to go knock doors and try to get people to vote yes. It got voted down the first time. And then the second time, I think I don't remember what year it was, but I think the recession was in effect. So everybody wanted jobs. So I think it brings a lot of jobs. My mom works for the casino. So she's been there she's a manager there. She's been there 25 years or something, in between 25 years. She started at the bottom and worked her way up, and it gives local people opportunity. You can make good money working at the casino there. So I think it's a positive for jobs if you were here in the 80s and 90s, man, this place they couldn't even keep, I think Walmart came in 96, but before that parking lot was, from Fashion Bug to LA Joe's to Barnhart's. They rotated stores. There was a Golden Corral there, but it was a small one. So I think it's a positive.
Well, so talking about growth, I know that growth is something a lot of officials have talked about, both on the city level and the county level. What do you think about how do you manage the growth moving forward? Are there things Charlestown can do better?
I think you really got to start with, I do commercial construction for a living. So we do Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Now I work for a glass company. So we specialize in storefronts, curtain walls, and closing the buildings in. But before, I worked for a corporation out of Upper Marlboro, and we did revitalization of Old Town Alexandria. There's this center project in DC. It's 10 city blocks that we did, and
wow.
Taking old buildings, working with GCs, tearing them down. And I think smart growth is big with, you got to have infrastructure. We have two developments. One's county, I think Magnolia Springs, and Tate Manor, I think, is the townhouse development in between my house and Jefferson Avenue. And they're going to dump a whole bunch of traffic on Belvedere and on Jefferson Avenue, I think is where they're tying it in. And man, those streets, well, not Jefferson, but Belvedere probably hasn't been paved in 20 years. I was knocking there today, and residents are like, man, we're going to get all this dumpage here, and we have to focus on paving, stormwater, having our water system. Every time that we get a water test, I've knocked doors and I bring it up to people, and sometimes they bring it up to me. You get the test report, and it always says borderline failure or failure for contaminants. We're at the level. So if we can't manage what we have now, then, I don't want to call it selling out, but I think I've said this in the NAACP forum. Charlestown, if they build houses, a developer comes in and wants the land, they should, on top of the impact fee, make them pay another fee. And then that fee can be used for capital improvement to benefit the people that already live here. We could have splash pad. We could start fixing sidewalks with that money. But I think sometimes we're so desperate for, oh, we need this tax, we need this, build it, you know. And I don't want to say sell out, but I don't want to, you know, let them come in and dictate to us what they're going to do. We should set a level and say, hey, this is what you're going to do if you're going to come in here. Because right now everybody says they're going to come because Loudoun County is so expensive. All those people are dumping here because it's cheaper. I mean, I think there's going to be growth, but we need to, I don't want to see all my hometown become, I mean, I want the jobs, but I don't want it to become, you know.
You don't want it to become a city, a big area.
Yeah, like crazy Loudoun County. Our office is in Loudoun County. They're knocking down every tree in the place to build, you know, server buildings and anything and everything.
Yeah.
Nice to have a server building here, but.
Well, so the whole thing, what do we know about high-speed internet? Because from what I understand, that's a big issue in and around Charlestown, really. Is that still a priority to kind of?
Yeah, we do need to do, we do need good broadband and high-speed internet. I think, because there's two companies. I think I have Comcast because Frontier, I tried them and it wasn't the greatest in the world. So we need more options with, and that's one big thing. Speaking of Loudoun County, you always see, I think it's called Fisher Industries or whatever. They do all the fiber optic lines and internet lines. They're always putting lines down. I think that we need to focus on internet as well, because I mean, in the downtown, I think also we need, my cell phone barely works down there. And I think everybody's almost the same. I mean,
that's the same with me whenever I'm there. Yeah. I don't get any service at all.
Yeah, I have AT&T. I don't know.
That's what I have. Yeah.
Yes. But I've talked to many people. I think it's got a little bit better on certain streets, but it's a dead zone. And I think we do need to improve in this.
You've been out, you said you're out knocking on doors, you've been campaigning. Do you feel good about your chances in this?
Yeah, I mean, always when you run against an incumbent, that's somebody that's in there, I mean, their name it's there. A lot of people already know them. But when I ran in 2017, I knocked some doors, but I wasn't into it. I mean, maybe it's because my wife she was probably like 8 months pregnant at the time.
Oh, wow.
And I went out and knocked some doors, but this year, I'm running this campaign off my own money. So, I mean, my parents gave me $100, but my wife and I think I've donated like $200. I got 15. I have them right here. I got 1,500 of these, and I don't have any mailers going out or anything. So I have to knock doors. And I found that knocking doors, I read a couple people's write-ups on the internet that knocking doors is the most positive thing to find out what people want. You communicate with them ideas, and then they put, because my face is on this flyer, this hanger, but then they put a personality with, and I knock them. Sometimes, like today, one lady I think I talked 40 minutes with.
Wow.
But I left there, I was walking away, and she says, "Hey, Steve," and I turn around and she says, "Do you have a sign? Put it in my front yard." And it happens to be on Washington Street. So it's perfect. I needed a sign on that street.
Yeah.
She gave it to me today. So
that's good. That's good.
But I think my chances are good. I don't have any big, people pushing from me behind. It's just myself and, and
if you end up not coming out on top, will you run again someday?
Yeah, I'll run again. Probably. I mean, maybe not county maybe not city council, maybe something else, but I do it if I don't win. I would like to probably get on the Parks and Rec boards. I'm pretty passionate. I coach out at Jefferson Parks and Recs, and I coach in Loudoun County for Loudoun soccer. I like to do that. Or
you're a busy guy.
yeah, I bounce back and forth if I want to do building commission or zoning, because it's in the line of construction in my field, but sometimes I do that work daily. So I don't know if I want to volunteer to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Volunteer something different. Like I like to do Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, the only other sort of, I have a few other things I want to ask, but one of the issue things I just wanted your opinion on was the curbside pickup and the services that started with the pandemic. A lot of people took to that, and a lot of people really liked sort of the different things that restaurants were able to do. Was that something on your radar too? Did you appreciate that? Are you against it? Do you have any opinion on that?
I'm not against it. I think it's good to have the curbside pickup. I mean, I've had a few ideas where when I ran in 2017, people thought I was crazy because I wanted outdoor seating in downtown. And I even put it out there where I know it's a state road that cuts through there. And I know that they'll say all tractor trailers come through there. But I even talked about closing off, like eliminating parking on Main Street. And then well, now since it's curbside, they could choose. They could do seating out there, or they could do curbside. Because if you go to downtown Frederick, they have barricades on all their parking in the main, and people build out a decking at the tied into the concrete, and they do seating. And there's a walkway, and they have seating on both sides. Or sometimes they have seating close to the restaurant. You walk in the area where you would park normally. So I think we should continue. I mean, some people's like, oh, there's not enough parking downtown, but we just don't show people where the parking is. I mean, there's parking lots there that they're never full. So I think either continue, I think the restaurants and stuff could have a choice. You either continue curbside, or do you want a barricade type thing? Like, I don't know if you've ever been to downtown Frederick and seen it. They've done it amazing.
Yeah, that's where I'm calling you from right now, actually.
Oh, are you?
That's where I live. Yeah. So I live.
Okay. So you see it when you walk. It's really cool how they have it set up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
They've done a great job with that. Yeah.
And they, even with their parking garages in Frederick, they kind of hide them where they don't pop out like, oh, it's a parking garage. They kind of design the outside with the look, the facade of tying it into the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love going, and the Frederick's unique because they have a creek, and we have Evetts Run too. So eventually down the road, we could have sort of like what in parts, because the skate park backs up to Evetts Run. So you could have the same kind of, how they have, that on Thursdays in Frederick, they close it, and they used to do like the beer things, and you get tickets and on Carroll Creek.
Yep.
So yeah, my buddy has a store down there, so I'm always down there.
What's his store?
Artifacts Gallery.
Okay,
it's on the corner. They do glass blowing and the shows. Yeah, my buddy owns that place, so I go down, and then I go to Brewer's Alley, and I just think that they have they adapt it well to COVID with outdoor seating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on a Tuesday, and it was packed.
Yeah.
Man, it's pretty funny that you're calling me from there.
Yeah. No, I've been here for a while now. So I know what you mean. They've done a great job kind of figuring out stuff on the fly and allowing people to do stuff. And I think that's the thing too. It takes a lot of cooperation between businesses and the government, really.
Yeah, in the public, whenever they walk, it's just common courtesy. If you're walking through those tables, you'll see the people like me walking. You just flip up because mostly you're walking without your mask on the sidewalk, a lot of people. And then if they see you walking, or they walk into the group of tables, which there's some there's 6 feet there, but a lot of people just flip their mask up and then keep going. But the Mexican restaurant that's down there has a great setup. It's the
La Paz?
no Caciques.
Cacique, yeah.
Yeah, Cacique has a good setup outside. Brewers Alley already has their own outdoor seating, so they don't have to adapt. But a lot of them, it's when I was down there with my wife a couple of weeks ago, I said, man, that's what Charlestown needs to do.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be really cool. So I want to kind of finish up with some lighter things so people can get to know you a little bit. Before we started recording, you had mentioned that you once played drums. So I have to ask you, do you have a favorite band?
Yeah, well, when I played drums and I sang in this was probably when I was 19, I sang in a little garage band like type thing.
Mhm.
Drummer was into metal music. We played more of I was into Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Audio Slave type stuff but now I got older. One of my favorite singers is Tyler Childers. He's
Okay.
Americano
Yeah.
country singer from Kentucky.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I did play the drums. I still have my recording equipment and stuff downstairs. A set of drums because I live in a townhouse, but I'd love to get another set.
Would you start another band?
Man, I mean, I don't know.
As you get older, it's tough. It's
I
tough.
don't have time with that. I'm married.
Yeah.
I gotta juggle time, and bands take
A lot of time. They take.
and you're kind of married to the band too. So
Yeah, that's very true. Would you? What happened when the pandemic and everything shutting down? Did you take up a new hobby? Did you teach yourself how to do anything?
no, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't really have hobbies. I played golf, so
Oh,
I spent time on the golf course.
what's your handicap?
Man, I don't know right now. It's probably maybe a 10, something like that.
Oh, that's way better than
Yeah,
me.
I've played. I used to work at golf courses whenever I was 16, 17, 18. So I've got my handicap down pretty low, but I don't know, probably 10 to 18, something like that.
That's
I
cool.
don't know. I'll tell you, I got a golf tournament on Monday, and I'll tell you what I shoot.
Okay, that'll be good. Let me
Yeah.
know. Let me know about that. If I was going to go out to eat at one place in Charlestown, what would you recommend?
Are you talking Charlestown city limits or Charlestown as us natives consider Charlestown?
Since you're a native, we'll say you natives. We'll say.
Okay. So my favorite in Charlestown to go to is I'll probably pronounce it. My wife is from Colombia and she'll kill me for pronouncing this wrong, but Mi Delgados, right there, the Mexican
Okay.
by Food Line.
Mhm.
The downtown, probably in Charlestown, in the city limits. I mean, he's a friend of mine. Alfredo's Mediterranean Grill is
Okay.
it's amazing food. But I mean, nothing against any of the other ones. Some of them I haven't tried.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, I haven't hit them all because I like with tacos. If I'm just getting tacos, I went to Shepherd University, so I love them. I'm bound to love Maria's Taqueria over in Charlestown. So
Mhm.
whenever, but I do want to go and I've never had a taco from Ortega's, and I do want to try them. I mean, it's sad that I'm just going to tell you the truth. I haven't, and I've tried their breakfast burrito. I think it's a breakfast burrito. It was good, but a lot of times when we go to the downtown, like I was knocking yesterday, and everything was closed. Like
Mm.
I'm at nighttime. So the time that I finish, it's most of the places were closed. So it
Yeah.
tells me that I have to go. I think last night I went to Glory Days after because
Mm.
because
Yeah.
everything was closed. So I mean
Yeah,
that's the sad part of the downtown. But
Do you have a favorite movie?
favorite movie, man, I do not watch a lot of TV.
I was also gonna ask if you binged any television show during the
Never.
pandemic. Or
No, I mean, I stay pretty busy. If I'm home and I have spare time, my wife complains all the time. I'll remotely connect to work and review architectural drawings because they're always coming in, and it's just, I get behind with email, especially with the campaign. Like when I get off the call here, I'll jump on and catch up for me taking a vacation day today. But the last one I binged, I love Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. I watch golf movies if I have to pick, like Happy Gilmore, Tin Cup, Bagger Vance.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
movie
Wow.
was.
Well, so I have to ask you then, who's your favorite golfer?
Oh, growing up, it was Payne Stewart. He was wore the cap and short pants. And then I've always like now it's a little bit different with the players, but I was always a Tiger fan. Now I kind of don't have a favorite that's playing out there today. I was a John Daly fan, but big Payne Stewart. Yeah.
And then didn't he win recently? Payne Stewart, or did he die?
No, he died. He died in the plane
That's right.
crash. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I mixed it. Oh, I was mixing him. Who? Somebody won recently. That was it.
Where's the
Stuart
Saint?
Sink? Maybe is that what I'm thinking of? Stuart Sink.
Are you thinking because he wears one of the hats, Payne Stewart?
Yeah.
That was probably DeChambeau.
Oh, okay.
He's the big guy. He wears the same type, not the same pants, but the same hat that Payne used to wear. Yeah.
So I'll get you out of here on this. I brought up the casino earlier. I don't know if you're a gambling person, maybe you aren't, but if you were ever to go into the Hollywood casino, what's the game you want to play?
Man, I'm not a gambler, so
you just go to slots?
No, I don't even play slots. I mean, I went to Vegas with my wife probably a couple years ago, and we stayed at a casino. My brother is a drone pilot for the United States Air Force, so he's stationed out of I was going to say he was in Minot, North Dakota with the B-52s, but he's there at Nellis Air Force Base. So I go and visit him. I normally stay on the Strip because then my wife and I can enjoy Container Park and all that. But we didn't put $1 in the machine until we left. She wanted to take a picture at a machine. So, but I went out there one time with buddies, and my buddy taught me how to play craps.
Okay.
I'm not a guy that likes to waste money. Or
nobody likes to waste money.
Yeah, I mean, not waste money, but if I lose $100, then I'm like, man, I could have used that for something else. So I'm not a big gambler, but if I went in, I mean, I like poker. I play sometimes with friends for nickels.
Yeah.
We don't take each other's paychecks, but but the game takes so long. But I like Texas Hold'em. Go in there.
Well, that's fair enough. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on and talking for the last, I guess it turned out to be a half hour. So I appreciate that. I'm sorry if it took up too much of your time, man, but we just got going.
I was worried about this because I get nervous through these things, but man, this has been one of the funnest interviews that I've done.
Thanks. Thank you.
I got relaxed.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with the election, and let me know what your score is, your golf score. Shoot me an email on that.
Yeah, I will on Monday. I'll let you know. First, I gotta find time to hit some balls, or I may be all over the place. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.